Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's deck profile is going to be over ShineGreymon with the hybrid package. Yes, ShineGreymon finally seeing its way back into the meta as a potential contender. Now this variant is going to be a little bit different from the way we had it on the feature match. After playing the feature match, I did feel like there was a lot of shortcomings in that particular build that I wanted to change it up, and I wanted to go with something that's actually been just destroying, okay, in lots of games that I've been testing. This kind of variant is so much better than what we had in the feature match. Don't forget, our memory marker for the month of February is going to be the Armor Egg of Friendship here. This is the Armor Egg for Rageramon. So very, very cool. So if you're excited for some armor evolutions, this is going to be a great one for you. Or also if you're doing the Pyildramon deck, going to be fantastic for memory marker for that deck as well. Now, if you want any of our previous memory markers we've had on the channel, check the coffee link in the description below. There you can get access to all the previous memory markers we've had on the channel. The benefit, though, of going through Patreon is you get the featured memory marker of the month, usually for a better deal. All right, so here we go. Right off the bat, you're like, what's going on? This is supposed to be yellow. That was creepy. This is supposed to be yellow. Why is all these purple cards here? That's because the yellow hybrid package really doesn't need any of its rookies at all, rookies or babies. You just don't have to really worry about it too much because we play so many tamers. Also, if you need to play any sort of yellow option cards, you generally have enough yellow tamers in your deck to cover you there as well. So then we can kind of outsource our option cards, like removal option cards, as well as our rookies and eggs to another color. Now, you could go with something like a red package and play something like a promo Guilmon that when attacking you draw a card. And then you can run something like Giga Blaster or something like that, the new red removal option, you know, delete two things with 8,000 DP or less. Definitely a solid way to go, but I feel like for a hybrid deck that plays a ton of tamers, purple is the way to go because of this purple option that we're about to get into. First up, though, for our babies, let's take a look at that first. We got Digimon here, and I just think that's the way to go for just a general egg to go with for purple, and you're only going to ever digivolve like a single rookie, and then that is it. Digimon is a great choice. Just on deletion, draw one, discard one. Draw one helps you just get into pieces you need, just like that's how purple works, is draw to sculpt your hand for the deck that you're playing against and get those key counter cards that go against the deck you're playing against. As well as the trash one could be kind of interesting. One, just get rid of dead cards in your hand, but two, if you get rid of a tamer or a hybrid, you actually can kind of facilitate your Susanomon. So getting to your Susanomon a little bit earlier, only by a little bit, just a couple Demimeramons there. But I think it's just there's no other purple egg that really benefits you in like a yellow or another colored deck. And then for our babies, in the last build I went with, I had Tapermon, which was on deletion, draw a card, right? So that combined with Demimeramon is essentially a draw two, discard one. Very, very powerful. But after playing more and more decks in this meta, where they're all playing hybrid and they're all playing 4 Bokomon, this card, we'll get to it, is stupid good. And I think memory blockers are going to be even more important than they were previously. Previously, you know, stopping like Hammer Sparks and Ice Walls that might be living in security, things like that. You wanted to turn those off, as well as those all the memory boost cards. You know, throwing it down a memory blocker, always good. Yellow doesn't have a memory blocker either, so we have to outsource a memory blocker to another color anyways. So Gazimon, being a purple, goes with the Demimeramon, and then because of these two, we can now play this card, which I think is probably the most powerful board wipe card for like a big, broad, like deletion card. Probably the best one in the game, honestly. So normally a 6 play cost, which in yellow you're going to do a lot of recovery, so you have a good chance of putting this into security, and that's where you really want it to trigger, is going to be in security. For each Digimon with hybrid in its trait and Tamer you haven't played, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. This thing is this is a game changer. Usually people like to swing in with their big megas first, right? And then they swing in with all their little things because they're always scared that they're going to hit into, like, you know, against yellow, like a wyvern's breath, and it's going to delete their mega and they're going to be sad. So they swing with that first. But because of this card, if they swing with and hit this first with that big Digimon, it doesn't matter because you can't delete the big Digimon anyway, but you can just nuke their whole field of everything else. Man, this card is so good. This is so underrated. People are sleeping on it. Like, everyone just kind of has been really willy-nilly with it and not really that excited. I've been playing with this card, and every time I'm playing a deck where I'm running this, oh my god, it puts in so much work. In a hybrid deck, you're going to have 2-3 Tamers on field, probably 1 or 2 hybrids on field, because it counts both hybrids and Tamers, which is a step up from Shine, because Shine only counts Tamers, and only yellow Tamers also, so you can't even mix and match colors at all. If you want to run like a purple Kari, something like that, you know, it doesn't work. So really limited on the Shine. And the Shine also, if you digivolve your hybrids on top of those Tamers, that takes away a Tamer for Shine to count for. But this, it's like, even if you digivolve that Tamer into a hybrid, it's still going to work. As long as it's a hybrid, it still works. So you can do crazy, crazy good board removal, and it's just because it activates in security. Literally, because it activates in security, it brings it up to a whole nother level. If it was added to hand, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. This card is insane. This is one of the best cards coming out of BT7. Absolutely. Next up, we got Bokomon, and I kind of harped on him a little bit ago. But on play, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 hybrid or 10 warriors in its type, and 1 tamer, and put the rest to the bottom. That's cool. Okay, a reveal 5, add 2 is always a really powerful searcher. None of these reveal 3, add 2s. Those are always more difficult to trigger. A Bokomon being able to reveal 5, add 2, very powerful. And it being one being a tamer, which you'll have tons of tamers in a hybrid deck, and the other one being a hybrid, which will also have tons. If you want to run 10 warriors, you can also add the 10 warriors off of it. Bokomon, very, very good card, but doesn't stop there. Like most searchers, like that's it. That's all they do. Like a Huckmon, something like that. 3 play cost rookie, and then you search, and that's it. This guy though, no. Your turn, once per turn, when your tamer digivolves, gain 2 memory. That basically makes all of your tamer evolutions free, because they're all 2 cost evos with Bokomon on field. That essentially makes all of your 4 cost or your level 4 evos free. That's nuts. A memory fixer on field and a Bokomon. Wow. Okay. Let me go up into my level 4 for free. Now let me go into my 1 cost Evo level 5. Okay. Wow, I'm at 2 now. You know, you can just keep going. Let me go into my Mega now and choke my opponent at 1. Like, wow. Go from nothing on field except for a Bokomon and a Tamer, and go into a complete Mega on 3 memory. That's powerful. This guy is so good. He's so good. If you've seen feature matches where we've shown him, or even other people's matches where this Bokomon is in play, wow. That's why we're running the Gazimon at 4 of. I was running Tapirmon, and then I went 2 Tapirmon, 2 Gazimon. Now we're just at 4 Gazimon because I think it's the way to go. You get a second Gazimon in hand, promote up the first one, okay? If you know you're not going to be playing the option card this turn, go ahead and swing with that Gazimon. You know, well, you probably want to promote the Gazimon up anyway earlier and just have him sitting on field, and then flip over another egg. And so when you draw into that second Gazimon, you know, you can digivolve him, and then when you're ready, you can promote up him and then swing with the other one. The other one will die. So, you know, every time you get another Gazimon in hand that you draw into, you just kill off the one that you had before, you know, and you just keep cycling through them. So you'll get a security check off of them. You'll get a draw off of them. really good stuff. So good rotation there. So that's our basic package. Now we're gonna get to our hybrids. First up is Kazimon, and this is yellow's first generic hybrid. It's just a 2-cost Evo on top of a Tamer. So that's all it is. We don't get any fancy level 4 or main level 4, I should say, like the other colors do. I think like almost all of them except for black. Black doesn't get it got its first hybrid as well. All the other ones though, they get really nice fancy stuff. So both of their level 4 Evos get effects, but not yellow. But even still, they make up for it. They make up for it. We'll get there. Next, we got our other one. This is going to be our Beast hybrid. So it's a hybrid as well. So 2-cost Evo on top of a Tamer. And then when Digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its trait or Zoe is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your security Digimon get plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's okay. You know, it's something, but most of the time, a lot of what we're doing is we're pulling our hybrids out of security. We're pulling our Digimon out of security and like leaving our Tamers. We really want our opponent to hit those Tamers and play them for free. So it's okay. It's just you got to find that middle ground of, you know, what to do, you know, when you got to do it. But it could be relevant. It's not bad. It's just mainly another 2 Evo hybrid target though. Next though is the powerhouse hybrid of the deck, and that is Jet Sylphimon. So one, if a Tamer is in its Digivolution cards, Digivolves into this card in your hand, reduce the cost of the Digivolution by 2. So if there is a hybrid and a Tamer underneath, you can reduce the Evo cost of this by 2, making it a 1-cost Evo level 5. Now, keep this in mind for like other decks where something like blue, which we had some misplays before in last week's feature match, is these level 5s only get the reduction if a Tamer is there. So if you have something like a Strabimon down there and you Evo up into these level 5s, you know, you don't get that reduction. It's only if there's a Tamer there. So reading is fundamental. When Digivolving though, this is crazy. If a card with hybrid in its trait is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, which it will be because our only level 4s in the deck are hybrids, so you can't misplay this. Recovery +1. That's it. There's no other stipulation there. You get recovery. You Digivolve into this, you get recovery +1. Even if you're at 5, 6, 8 security, you Digivolve into this, you'll get another security. For most of the time, 1 Evo cost. At least in this deck, it'll pretty much always be 1 Evo cost because we don't have any yellow rookies in the deck. So you'll always be Evoing your level 4s on top of your Tamers, which means this will always be a 1-cost Evo. Very, very nasty combo for sure. Very powerful combo. And again, when we're putting cards like this into security, yeah, that feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Next up is the first part of our Shine package. Up until this point, this has been pretty much the standard yellow hybrid build. At least from what we saw early on in JP, we didn't really see a whole lot of purple being incorporated. We saw a few towards the end kind of do it, but I don't think a whole lot of people picked up on it. There were some, but first time I saw it, I was like, that's spicy. That's really cool. I really like that. And then I started testing it for myself, and I was like, oh my god, this is a game changer. This completely changes how the power level of yellow hybrids. People just aren't even ready for this. So up until this point, this is like my go-to build for yellow hybrid. All the different variants of yellow hybrid will all have that base purple package up to this point. At this point is when it starts to change depending on the type of deck you want to focus in on. So for us doing Shine, we really got to get yellow Tamers into play. So we've got ShineGreymon here. For when Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. You don't get any on-play effects, so keep that in mind as well. So you're not going to get like your TK effect for searching security. You're not going to get your Zoe effect for searching security. But it's still a great card. Either way, you get a free Tamer on field when you Evo into him. And then your turn, while you have 3 or more yellow tamers in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Now, it's specifically yellow tamers. Same with ShineGreymon. The card reads it has to be yellow tamers to get their effects, which is another reason we aren't running like the purple Karis in this deck like we did with the other yellow hybrid deck profile that we already featured, because they're very specific. It has to be yellow tamers. So free tamer on field when you evo here, and then gives your deck a little bit more punch. A lot of these decks, the yellow hybrid decks, are a little bit slower. They don't have a whole lot of punch power, so giving a little bit extra here with that security attack for your mega is going to be pretty nice. And then next we got the man of the hour himself here, ShineGreymon. 4 evo cost. Yeah, it's one of those big steep 4 evo cost here. But when digivolving, suspend all of your yellow tamers. For each tamer you suspend this way, activate the following effect. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Also, your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP for each tamer you have in play. So that 11,000 DP isn't too bad. So you're going to get that security attack +1, and you're probably going to get, 2, 3, 4,000 DP added to this, up to a nice 15,000. You might want an extra for 16,000 just in case there's a Susanomon in security. Most decks are only be running Susanomon at like 2 copies, so I wouldn't really worry about hitting a Susanomon more than likely in security. So you should be fine. You just might want to get over, I don't know, if bonds are still around, maybe you want to get over bonds. But yeah, so for those that don't know, for this when digivolving effect, you applied that minus 4,000 DP multiple times. So if you have 4 tamers in play, you can either minus 16,000 to something, or you can spread it out. So minus 4, minus 4, minus 4 to like 3 different targets. And if they're like rookies or something, you kill 3 different rookies. Or you can, split it up however you want. 3 here, minus 12,000 here on this one, and then minus 4,000 here on this one. Kill 2 targets that way. That's what makes this guy really powerful, is that he was like the original board wipe, and he's still very powerful with hybrids. Now again, the weakness of the deck is that if you digivolve your hybrids on top of said tamers, you're taking away from ShineGreymon's potential targets of tamers that he can suspend to activate his effect. So just keep that in mind. It's really important to get tamers on field as easily as you can. We prefer for them to get hit in security, but if you saw the feature match and a smart player knows don't swing into yellow security until you are ready, then that's a big factor there. However, I think with this build, your opponent also can't really quite afford to do that anymore. That was, again, part of the big issue was that if your opponent just waited till they had, 5, 6 Digimon on field and then swung into security, they're fine. They didn't have anything to worry about. But as long as this purple option has the chance of being in security, that's it, okay? Changes the game considerably. Just one of these sitting in security will literally keep you from losing. Absolutely. So your opponent's going to go in for this big push. Whenever they hit this in security, it's basically going to end their turn immediately, and they're not going to be able to push for game. And because they swung into security, they probably just flooded your field with tons of tamers, because you're going to be pulling your yellow Digimon out. Between your Zoes and your TKs, you're going to pull all of your Digimon out, so you have nothing but tamers as well as removal options. So the purple one here is the prime example. We also do have Wyvern's Breath, as you can see, as another potential security threat that they could face. So very, very good stuff. So this is the new build, I think, is really important, just because you need to get those tamers on field, but you really need your opponent to hit them out of security. Next, we got Susanomon. Also, I know I keep going back to that purple card, but with that purple card, you can actually afford to just go start playing tamer after tamer after tamer, and you don't really have to worry about digivolving anything onto your field. Just start playing tamers every single turn. Just play a tamer. Just get that purple option in your hand, and then just start playing tamers. Just keep playing tamers, and if your opponent has nothing that they can do, they can't remove tamers off field, more than likely. So they're going to start building up this board, right? And as soon as they build up a threatening enough board that you can drop that purple option and just set them back to square one of the game, Yes, that absolutely ShineGreymon is going to be way more viable in a deck running that purple option. I'm gonna harp on it till the end of this video. Susanomon has lost a lot of power. Okay, you can't go Mega Digimon Fusion, reduce him down to 1 Evo cost or 0 Evo cost anymore, unfortunately, because back then that was your end goal of your deck, was just go Susanomon for free, Evo, delete whatever is threatening on my opponent's side of the field, or clear a blocker if a blocker was in the way, and immediately attack and check 3 security with him. And then you just go hybrid Evo on top of one of your tamers and swing for game. You can't do that really anymore. You Evo on top of him, you will pretty much always pass your turn. That's just how it is. You do still get a nice delete of something threatening on your opponent's side of the field. And then you have this whopping 15,000 DP Digimon sitting on field that your opponent has to put all their resources into removing off field. Okay, if they weren't smart and kind of held onto a Wyvern's Breath or a Gaia Force or some sort of, big removal card, then they're going to be SOL, because this guy is going to sit on field and next turn he's going to swing in for a big whopping massive swing there for that, with that 15,000 DP, 3 security checks. So your opponent has to deal with this and put all their resources into dealing with it, rather than like pushing for game or removing other little threats off field. No, they're going to have to put all their memory into basically removing the Susanomon off the field. So he is still good, okay? Just because you can't go into him for free and immediately win, he is still good in other regards. So definitely still worth playing him, absolutely. We got 2 Wyvern's Breath. I just like to have the added big removal, okay? Megas, okay? We can't remove Megas or level 7s off field with the purple option. We got to have a backup plan for when those come down. Literally for what we just talked about. If that Susanomon hits the field, you need a Wyvern's Breath in hand to immediately handle him. So just keep that in mind. Keep the Wyvern's Breath in hand until your opponent drops a Susanomon or drops just a big Mega that you need to remove immediately. That's what the Wyvern's Breath is for. So just kind of hold on to it until that time comes. We got the 1 Reinforced Memory Boost. It's still a great card. Just because it's at 1 of doesn't mean you shouldn't play it. When you get it in hand, awesome. You're going to get value out of it. Play it. You're going to get to pick something, add something to hand that could be really useful in hand, or you see a great option or a tamer that you can throw into security. Awesome. You get a pick. That's great. And then delay gain 3. That's so powerful. Gain 3 memory is so good. So yeah, not really much more to say to that. Just a nice recovery card that gives you the knowledge of what's there, as well as lets you pick what to put there. Next is our Tamer package. First, we got Zoe. 3 play cost Tamer, pretty standard there. Security, you get a player for free, of course. And then on play, either security or regular, you get to search your security stack, just like TK does. But you're limited to hybrids and 10 warriors, okay? You can't add anything else. Hybrids and 10 warriors, that is it. And then you do take that out, you get to recovery 1. I do like that it's an option, okay? So even if you did just want to leave those in there, cool. Or it's mainly because if you don't have a target, you can't add anything. It's just a kind of a caveat to that. But it's also nice because like TK, which is our next card, is on play. Look at your security stack. You have to add something. It's not a choice. You must add something. So say you look at it and you've got 1 card left in security and it's your purple option card and you're ready. You have to take it out of security and put something else in the top of your deck in there. So the 1 card that could have saved you from losing the game, TK is mandatory. You have to take something. That's a bit of a bummer, but TK is still the best memory fixer in yellow. And my battery died on my camera. Oh well. So great memory fixer for sure. So we're going to play him at 3 of. Next is our duo tamer, TK and Kari. This is an awkward one, right? So 4 play costs, kind of steep, but if you have fewer security than your opponent, gain 2 memory. Now, if you saw the feature match, the opponent was smart, and basically they never swung into security until they had enough to win the game. Because of the purple option, I don't know if you can really do that tactic anymore. We'll have to see how the strategy develops from here. But it's a good deterrent, right? Your opponent doesn't want to swing in, because of the duo tamer. You have a couple duo tamers there. Your opponent's not going to want to swing into your security at all, because they're not going to want to give you all this memory when it comes. So they're going to want to build up these big boards and then swing with all their stuff. And when they do that, the purple option will punish them as soon as he gets hit in security. So great combo, really. The purple option and then this, because this is going to keep them at bay from swinging in too early. And then the purple option is going to punish them when they actually do that exact thing. So absolutely good. And if they do, like, oh, I could hit that purple option, I'm just going to kind of pepper them here and there throughout the whole game, and whittle their security down slowly in case I do hit that purple option. It can't wipe a big field. Okay, cool. You do that, you're about to pass me a ton of memory. I'm going to have a memory fixer and then the duo tamer, and I'm just going to start going off on these crazy massive turns because you were playing around the purple option. And then because you played around the purple option, you played right into the duo tamer. So very, very awesome setup for sure. And then this is just kind of a flex spot, honestly. One of the only flex spots I've really had in the deck so far. 3 play cost old Kari here from BT2. Start of your turn, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. So again, it's just another deterrent. With the duo tamer on field and this Kari on field, your opponent is never going to want to put you below 4 security unless they're going in for the big push. They're going in for the big push. They're going to win with all their attacks and clear all your security at once. If they're doing that, then they've been slow playing. They've been building up this really massive board, and when they do that, that has given you time to play your TKs, to play your Zoes, sculpt your security. So when you do all that sculpting of security, you're kind of ensuring that that purple option card is in there. And yeah, so that's just really the overall strategy there. And the last card of the deck is win rate 60%. I have put this card back in. In some previous comments I made, I was misinformed. This card does work with Susanomon, okay? Because of how it works is if you have a Tamer in play, you may play this option card without meeting its color requirements. Okay, cool. Main, the next time one of your Digimon digivolves this turn, the next time. So not immediately when you play this card. You do not have to do this immediately. So you play this card for 2 memory. Cool. It goes to the trash. That's it. You just play this card. It goes to the trash. You pay 2 memory for it. Then the next time one of your Digimon digivolves this turn, you may trash 1 Digimon card in your hand. You play this card. You do some other stuff. And then you may trash 1 Digimon card in your hand of the same color as the Digivolving Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 4. So the way it's worded is basically in conjunction with Susanomon here is you may digivolve this card from your hand to one of your tamers as if that tamer is a level 6 Digimon. So Susanomon is treating that tamer as a Digimon, and so then it activates win rate 60%, and therefore you can discard a yellow Digimon to reduce the Digivolution by 4. Now that said, that it does work. I don't know if it's that great. Okay, you're essentially gaining 2 memory. This is a card that's essentially saying play this. Discard a Digimon from your hand to gain 2 memory. Not bad. Okay, it's not bad. So for decks that don't have things like Hammer Spark and whatnot, it's a good backup plan, I would say. But the only reason I'm really considering it isn't for the Susanomon, because the Susanomon, with that 7 Evo cost, you're going to pay 2 for the option and then reduce this by 4. You still have to pay 3 more memory to Evo into this, so it essentially goes from a 7 cost Evo to a 5 cost Evo. The win rate 60% isn't going to just make Susanomon instantly just as good as it was. It's not going to work. However, ShineGreymon is a 4 Evo cost. With a memory fixer on field, you will pass turn when you digivolve into this guy, but with win rate 60%, you will not. And that's what's really cool, is that win rate works with both of these. So if you want to play it with the Susanomon, you can. But you can also just use it practically with your ShineGreymon. So ShineGreymon, with that memory fixer, now is basically a 2 cost Evo. When you kind of factor in the 2 play costs of the option card, you can get into your ShineGreymon for only 2 memory instead of needing 4 memory with win rate 60%. So I like that it's versatile. If I had a Mega here that was a 3 Evo cost, I probably wouldn't run this win rate 60%. That's just honestly how I feel about it. I would not run it if my Mega was only 3 Evo. If I'm running a 4 Evo cost Mega and the Susanomon, absolutely, I will run win rate 60%. I think it's definitely worth it in that context for sure. Go ahead and zoom out for you here. Just to take a look at the completed deck. Anyone that wants to take a screenshot, that sort of thing. Anyone skips to the end and just wants to see it, here it is in all of its glory. If you want to know why I'm running these purple options, go back and watch the video because I talk about it constantly throughout this video. This is... if you don't want to run the shine stuff, that's fine. Okay, you can drop the rise, the shine, the win rate if you want, and just incorporate anything else. But everything else feels super good. It feels so good. You could maybe drop the Karis if you wanted for some more of these Tamers here, or more Wyvern's Breath, or Holy Wave if you want to go that route. Drop the rises, and you can add in something like the Angelomons for more recovery. There's tons of different kinds of combinations you can do. But if you really want to run Shine, I think this is a good way to do it. It is a very, very cool deck, and if built right, it is great. Now, if you don't run removal options, your opponent is just going to wait and build up a decent board before you can ever drop that shine with a big board of Tamers. Okay, they're not going to swing into security and give you free Tamers in a ShineGreymon deck. Okay, they have nothing to fear except for a couple Wyvern's Breath. Then absolutely they will wait it out. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to run this package and you start losing a whole lot with ShineGreymon, there's a reason for it. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.